Pozdrav, ja sam Ivana Horvat i dosta mi je gledati kako nekontrolirano mokrenje tiho uništava živote mojih pacijentica. Te beskrajne tablete, stalna nelagoda, socijalna izolacija i presuda liječnika. Pomirite se s tim. To je zbog godina, to je zauvijek. Dosta je bilo. Pronašla sam drugi put. Naša metoda omogućuje povratak kontrole nad mihurom aktiviranjem prirodnih resursa organizma bez iscrpljujuće kemije ili složenih operacija. Vidjela sam stotine žena koje su ponovno počele putovati, baviti se sportom i jednostavno živjeti bez stalnog straha i ograničenja. Ne dopustite da ovaj delikatni problem upravlja vašim životom. Pročitajte ovaj članak kako biste saznali više o ovoj suvremenoj metodi povratka punom životu.
With some dictionaries, if you try to look up a phrasal verb like put down, it will redirect you to the root verb put. This makes it harder to find the information you need. Good online dictionaries let you look up phrasal verbs and idioms directly. Test 6. Is the information presented in a clear, organized way? And is the dictionary website easy to use? This test is more subjective, of course. Finally, we looked for any other features which might be useful for English learners. Remember, if you want to see the full test results, check out the page on our website. If you're watching on YouTube, you can find a link in the video description. So, how did our 9 dictionaries do? Cambridge didn't do very well, which is a shame because it had been my go-to online dictionary before I started making this video. Firstly, it is not complete. It doesn't contain all the possible definitions of a word. Plus, it doesn't have a complete list of related phrasal verbs, idioms, and collocations. On the other hand, for beginners or intermediate learners, there are some good example sentences. The definitions are well written and clear. It does also show the UK and US pronunciation of a word, with audio, so that's a positive. It doesn't clearly show verb complements and structures. Overall, I can't recommend it. One of the biggest problems is that 3 different dictionaries are combined on one page. There's a British English dictionary, an American English dictionary, and a business English dictionary. This makes it confusing to use because different information is in different places and not always where you might expect it. I won't spend more time on it because there are much better dictionaries you can use. Longman was number 1 in our tests. It's by far the most complete dictionary I found. It contained all the information you might need, every definition of the word, possible verb complements, phrasal verbs, idioms, everything you might need is there. Not only that, but they have example sentences and many example sentences have audio, at least for some words. That makes it a great resource for practicing pronunciation. At the bottom of the page, they also have a large number of examples taken from natural English texts. You can look up phrasal verbs and other word combinations directly. Even the longer phrase, "know what you're talking about," has its own entry with dedicated examples. That's impressive. When you're learning English, you'll often hear that you need to learn language in chunks. This is good advice, so it's great that there are dictionaries which can help you to do this. There's one minor criticism. It gives you the UK and US pronunciations of a word, but it doesn't clearly show which is which. For reference, the UK pronunciation is given first and the US pronunciation second. Longman also has a number of useful features for English learners. If you look up a verb, you can find a verb tense table which lists all the forms and tenses. Finally, it has a good thesaurus which gives you alternative words and also explains what they mean and how they're different from the base word. Generally, I found Longman one of the easiest dictionaries to use. Information is organized and presented nicely, and the page is relatively clean without unnecessary clutter.